Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Chase Oliver 68 channel, another edition of Chillin with Chase. And I am here with the host of the other podcast I'm on, Around the Point. You can check out Heel Stevens' channel in the description down below, and also the latest Around the Point episode, which was Elimination Chamber live reaction. So if you didn't watch the Elimination Chamber live on the Peacock, maybe you want to go back. Maybe you want to hear what the boys thought about the Elimination Chamber. I came in at the end, but here with me to talk about the news of Cesaro being done with the WWE, it's Heel Steven. Heel Steven, how's it going?
What's going on, Chase? How are you? How is everybody on this wonderful Thursday evening? Here where I'm at, or you're at Thursday afternoon, but
It's turning evening. It turns evening in about an hour here in California.
fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's shout out to the people who are already in the chat. We got Kakashi83K that says, Chase, you helped him get released with your mid-Carter assessment. Hey man, I just called it how I see it there. Ronan Ghost said Cesaro's out of the circus that is WWE. At least he figured out there's not a lot left for him to do. And then Jackhammer City is in here, and he said some interesting comments that we will save for later on about Cesaro. But Steve, what were your thoughts when you heard the news about Cesaro being done with the WWE? What was that like? What was your initial reaction? Were you shocked? Were you not surprised? Was it like something where you're just like, man, what the heck? Cesaro left? Like, because it felt like no one kind of knew this story was coming. It felt like it just came out of nowhere. Like, it was like, oh, a name leaves WWE. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I clicked on it. I was like, oh, Cesaro? What? It was kind of weird.
For me, it's more like, I just literally saw this as I woke up from my nap. I'm on Twitter and I see everyone to talk about Cesaro. I'm like, what's going on here? And you hear that he exited WWE, kept it quiet. So I commend him for that, if you will. Like, he did it the professional way. He didn't go on social media. He didn't tell the people that, hey, I requested my release, So there's that. I mean, what else was left for him to do?
Yeah, I mean, I felt Cesaro handled this as professional as you can get it. And let's go ahead and talk about this. We got Big Mir. We got All About Wrestling. Kawami doesn't even watch wrestling. I guess Cesaro's a draw. They don't even watch wrestling, and they're over here talking about it. And Jogon Keen has some comments about Cesaro. And we will get into your guys' deep comments about Cesaro in a moment. I just want to get me and Steven's thoughts out there. So keep leaving your comments about Cesaro, and we will for sure read them live on air. But for me, I'm with you, man. I don't feel like Cesaro had nothing left to prove inside of WWE. And in fact, I felt like, I don't know if you felt like this, I felt like he was dead in the water after that Stone Cold podcast. No matter what he did, after when Vince was all like, he went on the Stone Cold podcast, Stone Cold Steve Austin, one of the biggest superstars of all time, giving him a ringing endorsement saying, I really like that kid Cesaro. I think Cesaro's a great kid. And then Vince is just like, he don't connect with the fans. Once Vince said that, it was done. Like, you should have known that Cesaro was never going to get a push. And I'm not Antonio Cesaro. I'm not Claudio Castagnoli, but I could only imagine that you've been doing this for years, and he's been wrestling for a lot longer than people will expect. You'll be surprised. Yeah, like, he's been wrestling since 03, 02, and he was a late bloomer. And last year, he probably felt, hey, this was my year, man. Like, I had a WrestleMania match with the number 2 guy in the company in Seth Rollins. I wrestled the number, and beat him. I wrestled the number 1 guy during the summer, where normally that's when most of our viewers are watching because there's no other sports. Yeah, I was in the Thunderdome, but he still did that. He probably thought, this is it. This is my year. I'm finally going to break out. And look what happened. After the Roman feud,
it was over.
He was non-existent.
Back to the bottom of the card for you, buddy. It sucked, though, because, like, again, like you just said, he thought in the back of his mind, yeah, this is it for him. This is opportunity. Wrestled Rollins, beat him, had a very good match with him in his first singles WrestleMania match. And then how did you follow that up? He goes wrestle for the championship against Roman Reigns, arguably their top draw right now. Granted, I think all of us would have wished, hey, that match would have been in front of a crowd, not in front of TV monitors or computer monitors, if you will. And then that was it. You thought, okay, maybe after this, Intercontinental title, or maybe get drafted to Raw. Kind of the draft was around the corner around that time, and nothing. He just, they saw nothing in him.
The thing with Cesaro, it's a shame because Cesaro is one of those guys where I never viewed him as like, oh, I got to build my company around Cesaro. I viewed him as like a gatekeeper, as a good guy where it's like, hey, what's the litmus test on this current guy we're pushing? Is this guy made, like, for example, Austin Theory? Cesaro would be the perfect guy for Austin Theory to face at this WrestleMania to see, can this kid go? Can this guy have a serious match? Can he be tough when we need him to be tough? Besides being a good looking kid, what does Austin Theory bring to the table? And I just feel like with Cesaro, WWE just never really viewed him like that. You know, and the thing with Cesaro, especially with his pushes that I always seen, I always feel like Cesaro is like a lighter, like, you know, when the lighter's like almost out and it just gives you sparks. That's all I always felt with Cesaro, was that his pushes were just sparks of the fans supporting him. And then afterwards, when he wasn't being featured, it was just like those sparks would just go away. Like the fans wouldn't care. It was almost like you had to position Cesaro in a big deal for fans to care. It was never like Cesaro on his own made people care. Like if you ask anyone, yeah, people think Cesaro's a good wrestler. They ain't gonna deny that Cesaro can wrestle a match.
They're
But
not.
when it comes to entertaining and just overall like perception of like what people think of Cesaro, I really do feel like it's like you have to put in a lot of time and resources into the guy. And I felt like Vince was like, man, we put in this time and resource into this Cesaro guy. We're not seeing a good return on our investment. We're not seeing people buying all the Cesaro shirts. We're not seeing Cesaro being like, you know what I'm saying? Like people always like talk about how like, oh, he could have been a huge star for the company. You
But the
know,
numbers
there's
don't
also,
reflect it. The numbers
yeah,
just don't
exactly.
reflect it.
It's not like Brian Danielson, where Danielson was selling the T-shirts. At least, you know, at least like there's something there. Bray Wyatt, there's something there to give you that. Like, well, you know, if you look at the quarterly hour ratings, Bray Wyatt has higher rated segments than most guys. Cesaro just wasn't doing that. And the thing is with WWE, they did what they normally do with guys when their contracts expiring. They just don't use them. That's what they always do with guys. And people will be like, oh no, Chase, you know, they only do that to guys they don't like. Think about when AJ Styles was WWE champion. They didn't know if he was going to resign with the company. They were like, "Oh, are you resigning?" And he was like, "I don't know yet." And what did they do? They took the title off of him, gave it to Daniel Bryan, and then Daniel Bryan faced Brock Lesnar in Survivor Series. So they'll even do this to guys they like. That's just how they are. They don't think of the logic of, hey, let's try to use people even if we're not going to use them. They didn't see anything with Cesaro, and it seems like Cesaro's stock right now, it's at a high when it comes to, you know, wrestling fans, but like just overall interest in generality. I don't know how much he brings to a table in terms of interest in viewership. Like I'm not saying like, oh, no one's gonna care about him. Like, no, people are gonna care about him.
Well,
I'm talking about like are people like gonna flip the channel? Is this gonna be like, hey, this company Lance Cesaro, this company now is gonna have this amount of fans watch
well,
him? You know, that's what I'm looking at
I
there.
think we can agree though. You know, now that he's gone, there's a lot of, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
eyes on him now to see, okay, what's his next move? I'm
Yes.
reading a comment here. Jagan King writes here in a comment, Lesnar versus Cesaro would have been a big filler feud for Lesnar. I can
Yeah.
agree. I think it was Salmon who said this in 2015. You know, at the Royal Rumble, you could have done Cesaro versus Lesnar. This is a time where Lesnar was doing the whole King of Swing, and the swing
Mm-hmm.
was over his shit. Again, just a filler match, a one-time only
Yeah.
thing at the Rumble. And you think about this too. Say what you want about the guy. Yes, we can agree that, you know, once Vince said that, once Vince made those comments, that was it for him. But no
Mm-hmm.
matter what you gave this guy, he made it work. No matter
That's true.
what the fuck you gave him. Um, Remember when he debuted, they had him with Oksana as a manager. He made it
He was,
work.
spe- he was speaking a bunch of different languages.
Made it work. We're the man purse. Made it work. The swing made it work. We the people, right? Everything you gave him, U.S. title. He was a tag team with two different people, with Tyson Kidd and it was Sheamus. Won the battle royal in 2014. So but now that he's going away, we can't sit there and say, oh, they had like in the sense of where he should have been to where they really gave him. It's nothing
Mm-hmm.
to really complain about at the end of the day. If you
Yeah,
get what I'm
I feel
saying.
like if you look at Cesaro's career, it's like I just feel like Cesaro just looked at it like this, like, look, I'm not happy here in WWE. Like I come to realize that, and I'm not Cesaro. I'm just saying if I was in Cesaro's position, I would just realize, look, I can make money elsewhere. I can do other projects that I want to do elsewhere. You know, he's a big time video game guy. He loves doing the Twitch. He was one of the few guys that was doing a lot of Twitch before WWE shut down that opportunity. I think he was on like Mixer or something. He's one of these guys that wants to have fun. He understands his role. Like he's not one of the guys that's going to be like upset with everything. Like Cesaro's a very easygoing type of guy. Like you said, they put him in like how many different tag teams? He was in a tag team with Tyson Kidd, tag team in the Bar, tag team with Jack Swagger out of all people. Like he's one of those guys that can fit that puzzle piece. I always viewed him as he's your gatekeeper, litmus test guy for young talent. Not saying he puts them over all the time, but you want to see if this young talent can go. You give them Cesaro, and maybe he's a former 2-time world champion, so that way you can just say, oh, he's a former world champion every time when he wrestles. But kind of like what Drew McIntyre is now, but not as big as Drew. I think Drew has a much higher ceiling than Cesaro, in my personal opinion. But yeah, I just feel like Cesaro just looked at it and said, hey, bro, like, what's the point of staying here? There's no point in me staying here, for the rest of my career.
I could have sworn, though, didn't he sign a new deal, though?
He signed an extension, a 1-year extension.
Okay.
And fans were upset. Fans were upset that he signed an extension. Like all we got information on was that Cesaro signed an extension. There was nothing about him signing like a long-term deal. It was just there was reported Cesaro signed an extension with the WWE. That was it. Like he signed an extension.
And people were mad about it. I don't know why, but
people were upset. They were like, oh, dude, fine, Cesaro. You know what's to come. You set this up for yourself. Like they were so upset with Cesaro doing what he did. What's up, Degenerate Sharingan? But also, too, I feel like now with Cesaro, I feel like we've seen enough, and now it's time to see what Claudio Castagnoli does. Steve, where would you like to see Cesaro, aka Claudio Castagnoli, end up in the world of professional wrestling?
Well, I'm pretty sure everyone on social media are already tweeting out at Tony Khan, sign Cesaro. You better make them all elite or else. Let's take a chill on that for a second. Let's take a chill pill on that. I don't think they need him right now. I'm not saying it won't happen. This is what I want to see from a talent that just got just parted ways in the street. He exited WWE, right? Let him explore the indies. With things getting back to normal, with COVID looking like it's becoming now a thing of the past, right? And restrictions are opening up again. I want to see this guy, kill it on the independent scene, not just here in America, but also in Europe, in the UK. And if anything, if you really want to see him land somewhere, New Japan. You can't tell me him in the G1, him versus Sonata, him versus Ishii,
Shingo,
Naito, Okada.
I think he can even get Evil a good match. I think he can finally get Evil to wrestle good.
Even the Great Okan.
Notice how they stopped pushing. No, notice how they stopped pushing that idiot. Thank God.
Oh man. Or him versus Ospreay. Him versus Ospreay.
Is he still? Yeah, he's still. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Jackhammer City said, "I might get some shit for this, but I couldn't care less that Cesaro left WWE. I mean, sure, he was a great wrestler, but at this point, what could Cesaro offer AEW that current ex-WWE's guys can't there? Plus, he's just going to get lost in the shuffle with the current guys there, which is a fair point. Like, I don't feel like AEW is the move for Cesaro. Like, unless it's just to hang out with his friends and stuff like that, that's cool. Like, do whatever makes you happy. But like, if he's like, hey, I really want to like show people who the hell I am. I love this for the art and everything like that. You got to do the independent route. You got to do that. But what were you going to say there, Steven?
I think also the fact, just to carry on to that, because I get what he's saying. Look at all the guys they brought in, right? They brought in Andrade. They brought in Malachi Black. They brought in Jay Lethal, right? I'll give you an example. Jay Lethal from out of Ring of Honor. Everyone thought, oh, he could be a game changer. What is he doing now? Dark Elevation, AEW Dark, right? Look at Andrade.
He was feuding for their fake title, the FTW title.
Exactly. And do you really want that for Claudio right now? Do you want Claudio to show up and, I don't know, have a random match against Sammy Guevara, right? And challenge for the TNT title, like those open challenges, and losing his debut?
Yeah, I mean, no. I'm pretty sure Tony Khan would love to have a Claudio, but if I'm Tony Khan, I'm looking at him like, what can I like? Because to me, I'm always on the big belief: sign someone if you know that you have a plan for them. Don't sign them just for the sake of I want this guy on the roster. Like for Keith Lee, for example, I feel like Tony Khan may have a plan for Keith Lee. I feel like Keith Lee might be your new AEW TNT champion come sooner rather than later. But don't sign Cesaro just for the fact of, oh, we get Claudio Castagnoli under our banner. That does nothing. That does nothing for him as a talent. That's only to satisfy certain people. And that's the thing. Like, you're gonna sign this guy while other guys are leaving the company too. Like,
Yeah.
especially guys, and some of the people that AEW may not resign are vocal people. Joey Janela is not a quiet type of human being. Like, you're gonna have to face repercussions when you don't resign people. Like, that's just it. Amir says, y'all got to get a Cesaro voice clip soon as I get home. Of a Cesaro voice clip? Well, what's that? I always thought it would have been better if Cesaro became a Paul Heyman guy in 2013 instead of Curtis Axel, especially since the match quality would have been better if Punk feuded with Heyman. That's true.
I think it could have worked. I remember in 2014, after he won that battle royal, he became a Paul Heyman guy. And I remember it lasted for like a hot minute, and then it just didn't go anywhere.
They just, like, it was just a random thing we heard on commentary that they mutually separated ways. Ronan Ghost says, I guess I'm not the guest this week. Ronan, I said after 2K comes out. Is this after 2K? I didn't say, like, I said that on the previous episode. You got to listen, my friend. Where you think he will go now? I think we both kind of answered we want the independence, but honestly, I think he might go to AEW. His friends are over there. I don't see a reason why he wouldn't go to AEW. He'll be able to wrestle as much as he likes. Not a lot of pressure to put a title on him at this moment of time. Not to mention he stays in the States and he gets that work visa. Because keep in mind, sometimes for these European wrestlers, it's easy to say, oh, don't go to that company. But he also has a work visa. Well, I don't know. Is he a citizen now? Yeah, he became a citizen recently, didn't he?
Let me check. Let me check.
Yeah, I thought Cesaro posted something on Twitter a few years back that he became a citizen. Because, like, I remember people liking that and we're super proud. The one thing about Cesaro leaving that we cannot deny that this is definitely a morale killer for the WWE locker room, because he was such a fan favorite, not only with a lot of fans, but with the wrestlers. Like, a lot of wrestlers like Cesaro. So
Yeah, it
that's
doesn't tell me.
concerning.
It doesn't
It
tell me.
doesn't tell you?
Doesn't
Okay.
tell me.
I think he is a U.S. citizen, but if he's not a U.S. citizen, going to AEW makes a lot of sense, especially with the work visa stuff. I think that may be a reason why Jay White went to AEW.
Well,
I think
technically,
there
also
might,
Impact. Maybe Impact.
yeah, Impact. Yeah, Impact is another company, because that's what we got to keep in mind. As much as it would be cool to do independence and stuff like that, those work visas, I feel bad for the international wrestlers, even Canadians too. They have to rely on having an employer to stay employed in the United States.
Exactly. Another thing too, you gotta make a valid point there. But if it was up again, if in a perfect scenario, explore the indies, try to refine your passion again, if you will. I don't see the logic really, leave exiting one, mainstream promotion, right? Just to go to another one and lock yourself to another deal and all that stuff. Granted, this is the part where AEW diehards will say, oh, but you see, they can also do indies. Okay, but I just want the dude to just explore the indies first. Balls out in the indies. Because let's be real about it, I think the indie scene does need a star right now.
Oh yeah,
If you will.
They're missing that, because either the stars stay there for a minute or they get signed by a company. They wasted him and they didn't use him right. I would disagree there a little bit, but Amir says, everybody I say is ass gets cut. Why don't people listen to me until I say it's like, oh man, you thought Cesaro was ass? Oh yeah, you did. You didn't like Cesaro that much. Cesaro was always a good mid card till upper mid carder. Agreed. I agree with that. Do you think Cesaro would have stayed if he won the WWE title from WWE?
Not really.
No, I think what Cesaro wanted was a constant push, like an actual like I think Cesaro wanted to feel important within the company, and I think at that moment of time, especially right now, I think he doesn't feel important with the company. I think he views himself as just another number when he wants to be a number. I'm not saying he wants to be like the main event champion. I think he just wants to feel like, hey, there's a level of importance, like within a company. Like, I'm not just a expendable guy. Like, they view me as someone as such, and that's like, because Cesaro's not really a money type of guy. Like, he's not really like big on like, oh, I need to get my paper. He's more of a guy where he wants to have importance. Like, but he has talked about, before, the reason why he signed with WWE is because WWE does pay more than most companies. So
that's another thing too. I mean, we don't know if the guy's married, has any kids yet, right?
isn't he still with Sarah Del Rey? I don't know his.
I think he is.
Wrestling Twitter knows more about his dating information than I would. I don't. I was late to the Sammy Guevara's dating Tay Conti party. Cesaro being let go will be the best thing to happen to him. WWE hasn't done anything good with him, and he should have been a multiple-time champion. Jinzo Jector says that.
Yeah.
Lesnar versus Cesaro would have been a big filler feud. We talked about that earlier. Jinzo Jector says, my favorite Cesaro moment was when they had a fatal four-way tag match and he was hitting everyone for like 5 straight minutes. That overall sequence was amazing. That sequence I see at least once every year on Twitter of people being like, man, look at this hot tag. And Cesaro, do you know which one I'm talking about, Steven?
Yeah,
Where Cesaro just goes,
it was on Monday Night
just,
Raw. It was the Bar versus the Revival, I think it was.
no, it's like a four-way tag match. It's like a four-way tag match. It's like the Bar versus I don't even think the Rival's in it. It's like literally just like it's like a 4-man tag, but I think the New Day's in it too.
Yeah.
He goes crazy in that match, man.
I think one of my favorite matches for Cesaro was in NXT when he had that match with Sami Zayn in the
That's
early
a good one.
days of NXT. That 2 out of 3
That
falls
that
match.
I think that's Michael Cole's. Michael Cole said it. That's his favorite wrestling match of all time. He said that. He said that Sami Zayn versus Cesaro 2 out of 3 falls is his favorite wrestling match of all time.
Facts.
He said something of that nature. But yeah, no, that's a great match. My favorite Cesaro, actually, I was live for probably my favorite Cesaro match. It was the Bar versus Rollins and Ambrose at WWE No Mercy, the same card that Roman Reigns and John Cena fought, and then Lesnar versus Care Bear happened. Woods losing all his up, down, down friends. Oh man, what the heck?
You saw the meme.
So,
You saw the Will Smith meme, but he's in the empty house.
Yeah,
dude, that's Xavier Woods right now.
Dude, I feel bad for that guy, man. Like that channel, he really worked so hard to create, and then WWE just like butchered it and ruined it and everything.
But they gave him a crown. But they gave him a crown.
They gave him the king of the ring. That's true.
They
gave him what he wanted
at a price. That's the cost. You want to be the king of the ring, pal? Hey, bye-bye to your friends.
By the way, guys, so if you guys have questions that are not Cesaro related, you guys, as we're filtering through the Cesaro stuff, please send in your questions. Steven and I will stay on an extra few minutes. Well, not extra, like few minutes. I mean, a little bit extra to answer some of your cues. Cesaro busted his ass up for everything they gave him. He had a lot of accomplishments, such as becoming the first ever inaugural Andre the Giant Battle Royal winner. Cesaro realizes he is not happy there. Agreed. Degenerate Sharingan will miss Cesaro. That AEW mob. Oh, I don't want the AEW mob on my ass.
Oh, they're coming, bro. They're coming. How dare you guys not want to be all elite? Tony Khan's gonna make Claudio into a star, yo. And who knows, really? This is what they're probably gonna be saying. Who knows, really, guys? We might get the return of the kings of wrestling.
I don't need to see the Kings of Wrestling. That's too old.
Loaded. I don't need to. There's a better chance of me getting Chris Hero on my meal prep plan before he comes back to wrestling, but I'll digress on that.
AEW roster is bloated. He's not needed. I feel like there's a lot of people not needed on the AEW roster, but they keep signing fools.
Yeah.
Oh, you on your lunch break, Bedham? I hope you're enjoying your lunch, man.
Can you imagine real quick? Can you imagine though, real quick, if they do sign Claudio? And they sign him for more than Cody wanted and shit.
I don't think they would give. Like, look, if you're not willing to give Cody Rhodes money to Cody Rhodes, why would you give Cody Rhodes money to Cesaro?
Just saying, though.
Nah, that would be so terrible. Like, if Tony Khan does that, he deserves to lose. Like, he deserves to be fired. Like, I would fire Tony Khan if I'm like, wait, we're giving Claudio how much that we could have kept Cody? Cody's a far more interesting. Cody is a far more interesting name than Claudio as a free agent. I'm just being real here.
Would have been a good match, though. You know, for a fact, had Cody still been in AEW, that would have been the first program. Claudio.
Oh yeah, Claudio and Cesaro. Yeah, Claudio and Cody. They could have done the American gimmick and stuff. Yeah,
Cody was like another American ending racism promo. You see, and all that shit again.
Best Cesaro matches in WWE. I think we talked about a good amount of them already. I'm going to miss Cesaro. I swear WWE could have done something with it. That's the one thing with Cesaro. A lot of people really do like Cesaro, like just in general, which is always good. You know, he's going to have those fans. Like he's going to get a big pop wherever he debuts. Like they're going to be super excited to see him. And then also too, a lot of people are going to see like the legit. And also, no, I do not want to see a Claudio and Eddie Kingston feud. I don't care what kind of personal beef Eddie Kingston has with Claudio. Cesaro is like Christian without mic skills and without winning the world title. That's true. He is like Christian. I just don't think he also has like the look that Christian has, man. Jim Cornette is going to shit on WWE creative for misusing Cesaro. Is he a Cesaro guy? All right, Ronan Ghost wants to know, Steven, do you think Carmelo Hayes is the best promo talker in WWE NXT 2.0?
He's worth watching right now. You know what I mean? The best promo right now, I guess out of the crop that they have, yeah, I would say so. But I think he's worth watching and shit.
Hmm. Do you think they would ever let go of Michael Cole?
Well, they did let go of Carlos Cabrera, right? And he's been there for like 30 something
I
years.
I feel like Cole's so valuable. Like I don't see why they would like. He's been there with that company forever. I don't see why you would let him go just for something small. It would have to be a messy divorce to let go of Michael Cole, to be honest. Or if it's like you truly believe Jimmy Smith is going to be like better than Michael Cole within the next 2-3 years.
Exactly.
Brandon wants to know where's the Uncharted review.
I didn't watch it yet. I don't
That
plan on
that
watching
that's
that.
that's your Uncharted review.
That
Kuda
bad.
set.
That bad, huh?
Hmm?
That bad, huh?
I didn't. I'm not watching it, Steve.
Neither
This
am
is a
I.
troll. These guys are trolling. This is what they do. My friends like to come on my stream and troll me with this Uncharted BS. They want to talk about Uncharted with Tom Holland and whatever. We're not talking about that. Thanks for letting me borrow the Lambo last week, Chase. I was able to take my date to see Uncharted and get some sex afterwards. Oh, good job, Coods. I'm proud of you. Honest thoughts on Jim Cornette wanting wrestling to be kayfabe. Do you think the mindset is correct? It's I think it's too hard to do kayfabe nowadays.
Yeah.
I think the internet just gives you so much information. Like, let's be real. We're able to access so much of these wrestlers' lives. Like, it's too hard for them to keep it. Like, social media itself already exposes so much. You can't do kayfabe in today's world. It's just too hard. The information just goes quick.
It does. And I think his mind his his mind's in the right place, but it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah. Can you and Steven give us your review on AEW Dynamite last night? I'm not going to go full match by match, but I'll say
I fell asleep before the main event. Like, yeah, I
oh,
was out.
I'll say this. The Connecticut crowd was terrible, absolutely atrocious. The show was a strong first hour, but like most AEW shows, that second hour, oh my god, I don't know what happens from the first to the second hour. It's like a completely different show. The first hour is always good. Then the second hour, it just gets ass.
Like an episode of
MJF cut
Impact.
a
Like an
yeah.
episode of Impact.
MJF cut a wonderful promo. But other than that, yeah.
Facts.
So Cody left because of money. This is a rumor, or well, it's being reported by people that Cody like that could have been a reason why Cody left. But like that's what pretty much everyone's been saying is that Cody probably left because of money or creative control. But like one of the things is like Cody leaving opens up a lot of money. So Steven was saying, what if you gave him the contract that you want to give Cody, which would be kind of stupid. I want to do that. Hey, Chase, just found on Xbox when a friend of mine pre-ordered WWE 2K22 that My Rise contains more than 200 storylines with quests surrounding similar to SmackDown. Just bring it. Is that the new My Career mode? Is this where we're at? Well, with My Career, it's called My Rise. What happened to Trey and Red? Steve, are you getting WWE 2K22?
Maybe. Who knows? I still gotta get FIFA 22 first, and we'll see.
No, okay. Cornette has praised Cesaro. Oh, okay, gotcha. I didn't know he liked him that much.
Well, he's not one of the outlaw wrestlers, none of these cosplayers, if you will.
Oh, gotcha. Cornette seems like to like if you're like very technically, or if you're like bald. Like he loves all these bald wrestlers, dog. Like if you like just shave your head bald, like Cornette thinks you're like a superstar.
Word.
Do you remember how weird and funny Cody Rhodes promos were in AEW? Dude, that's the one thing I'm gonna miss, man. Cody Rhodes with no writers and his think group, his AEW think tanks. Oh my god, like the Road to the Top episode where they're talking about him cutting that promo, like where the promo that everyone jokes about that he ended racism is one of the best ever. It's so freaking hilarious because they literally like talk about it where like they're like making such a big deal about it, and they show Tony Khan like Brandy's like crying backstage as the promo's going on. The way Cody Rhodes, what a legend.
Word. Leave the memories alone.
Do you think Cesaro liked the Uncharted movie as much as you, Chase? No, I don't think he liked it. Yeah, exactly what Steven said. This. Carlito is here, and that's cool. We got a Carlito cosplay.
And
We
that's
got a
cool.
we got a caw.
Do you have a Granny Smith apple or golden apple, Carlito?
Dude, okay, hey Steve, I don't think I told you this. I went to Comic-Con, the LA Comic-Con, and Carlito was there and he was selling autographed apples for $20.
Damn.
Do you believe that MJF was trying to paint CM Punk as a bad guy before his matchup at Revolution? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the whole goal. This is literally like what's it called? This is like reverse psychology 101. You know, MJF, the reason why he is how he is because his hero let him down. This is like a story that's old as time. Like this is something comic books have done, the movie Incredibles have done this. Like when your heroes let you down, this is what leads to happen. Like My Hero Academia does this, like hell, Attack on Titan does this. Every show has done this plot. MJF just cut a really good promo where he talked about, hey, I looked up to CM Punk my whole life. CM Punk was a guy that I believed in. CM Punk was my man, and he let me down. He embarrassed me. So that's why MJF is such a dick. That's why MJF hates how it is, because of what CM Punk did. Simple. How do you think a Cesaro Lesnar feud would have been? A lot of terrible promos and stuff.
I think let's just get to the match. The bell would have rung, and typical Brock fashion, Cesaro would have gotten all his offense in. He would have got the swing in, probably would have hit the neutralizer, and near fall.
Oh, look at this, Steve. I barely get these. This is a rare
Why?
a $2 super chat. Thank you, DJ Cass, the number one tag team wrestling fan in the world. He loves FTR. I know DJ Cass is a big FTR. I don't know if he likes FTR, but I know he used to be a huge NXT fan and a big tag team fan. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. You guys don't need the super chat, but it does. I do appreciate when those do come in. But he says, "Sup, guys? It's good to see you too. Been a while. Hey, man, it's been a while too. I gotta get you back on the show one day, DJ Cass. We used to come on the Q&As and stuff like that and ask everything, but." Yeah, no, that's the one thing, guys. I have super chats on because if you have super chats on, YouTube thinks like, oh, your channel will help make us money. So that way, I get into the algorithm. That's the thing with YouTube. You got to understand everything with YouTube. It's all about how they can generate and make money. So that's why the super chats are on. You guys don't need to give me money, but if you do feel like, hey, you know what, Chase has been entertaining lately, let's give him some cash. I'm cool with it. I always appreciate that. But thank you, DJ Cass.
That right there should be lunch money back in school. That should be the lunch money.
Dude, hey, dude, that right there in California, that could be my gas. That's an almond joy right there. I'm gonna get some almond joys later.
There you go.
I don't even know how to get. You know the thing with this is how bad I am with YouTube stuff. I don't even know how to get super chats, man. Like they just sit in my like I have a few that are just sitting. I'm like, how do I get these? What do I do with these or something like that? Like,
I think you link it or something. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I never know, man.
Neither do I.
Them liberal Cody promos were funny as dude. I loved all those terrible Cody's promos in AEW are just the best, man.
Facts.
Let's see. I did like Cesaro, but I got the reason Vince never pushed. I'm sure he was great in the ring, but was kind of lacking when it comes to mic skills. Honestly, he would have benefited from having a great manager. They gave him one. They gave him Paul Heyman. How much better can you get?
Word.
I mean, Steve, how much better can it get?
And they had Dutch Mantel.
Yeah, exactly. Are you least excited about WrestleMania this year? No, not really. I'm actually
I'm excited for the weekend. I'm excited for the weekend of WrestleMania. I'm excited for what other shows are going to be happening that weekend, per se. The event itself, to know that I'm doing a live watch along for like 5 hours, yeah, back to back. Pray for me.
They also announced that Charlotte and Ronda is night one, so at least you know, like, hey, if I don't want to watch night one, you know what's on the card. I feel like the thing is they need to tell us what's on each night, so that way people can plan, man. Because I don't know about you, Steve. This is what I did for last year's Mania. I watched night one, night two. I waited till the main event, and then I was able to pick and choose what I wanted to watch. I felt it was the best way to watch it because the 2-night thing. It's cool, but I need to know so that way I can plan like, hey, should I just watch night 1 and 2 back to back and stuff? Man, that Saturday is going to be brutal, bro. There's going to be like what? I think Ring of Honor is also running that Saturday too.
And then they're going to have NXT.
Yeah, you have that
liver show.
Yeah, dude. Ziggler thought he was getting a WrestleMania paycheck. No, he's going to get a NXT 2.0 paycheck.
Like the work rate paycheck, the work rate.
Yeah. I spit in the face of people who want to be cool, who don't want to be cool. Thoughts on the tag team battle royale and post match where the Young Bucks could possibly turn face to join Heyman Page to fight Adam Cole and Reed Dior Agin. I like the Adam Cole feud with like his friends. I think that's the most interesting thing for Adam Cole for me. I think it's a good feud with the Young Bucks. This is actually the most entertained or interested I've been in the Young Bucks since in a minute. So I'm actually really excited to see where it goes. Is this Adam Cole? Because like Jay White was also there. Remember, Adam Cole was excited to see the Switchblade. He was like, "Oh yeah, look, I brought this guy in." Like, I feel like this is something that they're building either for their Stadium Stampede or Blood and Guts. Either Adam Cole and his group, if it's the Bullet Club or if it's the Undisputed Era type of faction, versus Hangman Page and his group. And hell, maybe Steve, could we possibly see God team with the Young Bucks?
Well, I don't know if you saw, but on Impact on
Saturday,
yeah,
that's what I'm asking.
God got attacked by Anderson and Gallows and Switchblade, and they all turned on them basically. So
that's what I'm saying. Do you think that's possible? Like for like a Blood and Guts Stadium Stampede, which is normally like 5-on-5, we normally get like you can do 6-on-6 in this situation, throw in Haku, and then Haku can like beat up Gallows for us, so that way that idiot gets his ass. Like I'm just wondering like what are they gonna do? Because Switchblade obviously is working for both AEW and Impact in some capacity, but like, what is it's going to be?
I think if anything you could do, I guess Adam Cole, the two members of the Undisputed Era, Red Dragon. I'm sorry, right? You could probably do Switchblade. Wait, no, you can't do Switchblade, right? Fuck. Wait, yes, you can, kinda, right? Or if not, do God if you want versus the Young Bucks. Jay White, and I guess obviously the Hangman, and we'll see. But I guess you can. I think we all know obviously at Revolution is going to be Adam Cole versus Adam Page. But as far as the tag team battle royal, I thought it was very well done. Red Dragon getting the win, for a fact that the Young Bucks are probably gonna get the win next week. Because I do understand being on a battle royal, which makes no sense to me at all.
Well, Steve, this one is the casino battle royal. It's just like a Royal Rumble, but instead it's casino.
Yeah, I get that, but if
tag teams enter at the same time.
Yeah, but still, if I really want to see a bet, whatever. And again, being that the tag champs are Jurassic Express, are we really to believe that Jurassic Express are going to retain their titles coming out of this shit?
I feel like they are. I feel like the other teams are going to cost each other. Like, I really think they're big on Jurassic Express. Weston says, I'm glad Cesaro left. I'm ready for the new generation. That's just me, though. And yes, it's not entirely his fault why his career went the way it did, but he was missing a lot of main eventer quality. That's true.
Facts.
Oh, Jackhammer City said long term, but still, they gave him. They just didn't connect. Maybe Vince was right. Steve, do you read any comic books? I'm already going to answer this for you. It's going to be a no.
I'm more of a cookbook reader, my man. I'm a cookbook thumper.
Oh, cookbook thumper. Okay. All About Wrestling says, what time period do you think WWE had the best roster, and what time do you think had the roster?
Oh, what? The last part.
The last part I'm confused by. What time period do I think was the best WWE roster? Probably 2016. 2016 still had some older guys. They had some newer guys coming up. NXT was loaded. SmackDown was loaded. Raw was loaded. Like, that was the last time the brand split kind of made sense. So
I would say 2016, 2018. That time frame, the roster was like stacked. Because remember, at the same time, they were getting people to NXT from the indie scene. So they were stacking up that roster as well.
All right. And then we're going to answer a few more questions, and then we're going to head out for tonight because I got dinner to eat, and I got to still do my second workout of the day.
I got to do my yoga.
Ronan Ghost wants to know thoughts on Undertaker's legendary career getting inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. Who do you think should induct him and why? Honestly, I feel like Vince should do the induction out of anyone. Undertaker, we'll probably do a stream in the future talking about Taker's career, so I don't want to spoil that too much. But I'm happy for Undertaker getting the career that he's. I'm happy that Undertaker's finally getting his flowers. Honestly, I think Steve said it on his show. He should be the only inductee, and I agree with that. Recently, they just announced that Shad Gaspard is going to be the
Warrior recipient.
Roy recipient. There, I didn't know how to say that, but
Did they
so
really?
Yeah,
Good for him, yo. Good for him.
no, he's a real life warrior, dude. Rest in peace, Shad Gaspard. I mean, doing what he did, like, and the sacrifice he made, like I told people, he's the real God of War. He played Kratos, and he was the body of Kratos and got the new God of War PS5 video game. So, and doing what he did, that's something that Kratos would have done for his own kid too. So he embodied everything of what a warrior should be, and like when he passed, like that was like so sad. Like a lot of wrestlers, like showed so much love and support to Shad Gaspard. But yeah, I feel like what Steven said, Taker. I don't know if Steven said that, but Taker should be getting his own show. Yeah, that's it. Like who else? Why do we need to have like 8 million people? Like we don't need like no offense to Beth Phoenix. We don't need Beth Phoenix taking up all the time just because she wants to thank everyone.
And not for nothing too. And apparently, what they're doing is it's on the same night as SmackDown. So if you buy a ticket to SmackDown, you're going to be at the Hall of Fame, which I kind of don't agree with. If anything, do it on a Saturday, if you will. But I know Saturday got WrestleMania going on too. It's like, fuck. But yeah, you kind of get the idea, right?
Yeah, no, I get it. I know Chase can't wait for his favorite. Why you guys troll me so much? Y'all hate me, I swear.
I'll be fair though. I'll be fair though. He grew on me. He grew on me a little bit. I'm not saying I'm the.
I don't know what Steven was talking about there. He was talking about someone growing on him and shit. I'm reading him back real quick. What were you talking about just now?
Well, I'll tell about how, that terrible.
Yeah, exactly. Shut the fuck up.
That terrible performer, Jay White. He the fucking shits, man. He the fucking shits.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. That's what I want to hear. What's up, CPZ? We're actually ending this stream soon, but I got some heat to show you guys in the future stream. I got a big W on sneakers. And I'll show that heat I'll show that in the future. I think maybe on Around the Point we'll show that. But this is going to be the last question we'll answer from Ronan Ghost. Do you guys think WWE oversaturates part-time wrestlers frequently in the years as they take the spotlight off the new talent who are consistently working their way up to become the best wrestlers?
Do you think WWE oversaturates part-time wrestlers frequently in the years as they take the spotlight off the talent? If you think about this, right, over the year, they only used two main part-time guys, and that's Brock and Goldberg.
Yeah.
I get what he's saying, but at the same time, I'm gonna just say no because you're only using two people. That's it. Just Brock and Goldberg. Had this been a thing where you're using Brock, you're using Goldberg, you're using Taker, you're using Cena again, then I guess you can make that argument.
For me, I feel like they were I don't think they oversaturate with part-time wrestlers. I think they over rely on having part-time wrestlers be a big deal. I feel like that's the problem with WWE is that they over rely on the fact that, hey, we need a part-time guy to become the Universal Champion or the WWE Champion just to make title matches feel important. I don't think they oversaturate with part-time wrestlers. I mean, like you said, they only use two currently. Undertaker was always a part-time guy starting in 2011. Triple H was a part-time guy starting in 2011. So those weren't guys like, it's not like you said, it's not like, look at WrestleMania. I guess Edge, I don't know if you count him as a part-time guy, but he wrestles a lot more than most part-time guys. But if you look at the current WrestleMania card, sure, I guess three of the matches so far will feature part-time guys, and that's Brock Lesnar and title for title, Austin, if the rumors are true, and Edge. But I don't feel like that's oversaturation. Now, if we talk about 8 matches on the card featuring part-time wrestlers, yeah, I think I don't know if you count Ronda Rousey as one, but I think she's more full-time once she gets that belt. Yeah. I think right now she's still trying to work out the she's still trying to work off the pregnancy type of stuff, like, because people forget she just gave birth to that baby. That baby, like the fact that Ronda looks in the shape that, like, I've seen some people shit on Ronda's shape, but it's like, bro, she just gave birth. It's not like she gave birth yet. Like, she gave birth like 6 months ago. She just gave birth. Like, the fact that she's here is even crazy.
Exactly.
Like, she's still nursing. But yeah. So anyway, Steve, let the people know where they can find you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you guys can check me out over on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/HeelSteven. I'm on Twitter at HeelSteven. We're going live this Sunday for Around the Point, talking about Cesaro and other stuff as well. Likely Chase will be there too.
Oh, most likely. And my gain will be there too. That's where you guys will see
Okay.
the Chase Gauge will be in full effect on Sunday. But thank you guys so much for coming into the stream. Once again, the latest episode of Around the Point is going to be in the description box down below. If you guys want to watch Elimination Chamber in a fun way, go ahead and do so. But also, Steven's channel is in the description box, so please subscribe to the channel. I'm also on the Around the Point show. So yeah, Sunday I'll be on there, and we'll be talking a lot more in detail about a lot of other stuff in professional wrestling. The next live stream, I don't know when it will be, but stay tuned, hit that bell, subscribe, give a like. Thank you, DJ Cass, once again for that $2 super chat, and I'll see you guys in the future. Have yourself a good one. Peace.
Peace out, y'all.